Hello everybody and welcome to the inaugural episode of Teenage Movie Reviews. I'm your host, the Masonator. You know, everywhere I look these days I see news articles saying that artificial intelligence is the future of filmmaking. The thing is, I've already seen a movie with fake actors in it. It was called the Muppet Movie. Released in 1979, the Muppet Movie marked the big screen debut of everyone's favorite velvety characters, kickstarting a steady stream of Muppet-centric films. Some good, some okay, some Muppet Wizard of Oz. The Muppets movie released right in the middle of the third season of The Muppet Show, right at the heart of Muppet Mania. The film was a critical and box office smash, making $76 million on an $8 million budget. Now, however, it seems that no matter how hard they try, the Muppets will never achieve the same widespread audience as they did in the 70s. Let's take a look at the film that supercharged Muppet Mania. This is The Muppet Movie. The film opens up at Worldwide Studios, where the Muppets have all met for a private screening of The Muppet Movie. Wait, so are they watching the movie while it's being made right now? Or is this entire movie just us watching the Muppets watching the Muppet Movie? Am I thinking too hard about a movie whose main cast is made up of felt and fur?
Organic popcorn, only a box. Oh, sure, Mama, nothing's too good for a woman.
Okay, look, I know the general chaos in this theater is supposed to be played for laughs and all, but let me be real for a second. As a theater employee, this opening scene scares me more than anything in any horror movie. Who do you think's gonna have to clean that up, you jerks? After some generally hilarious Muppet-to-Muppet conversations, Kermit, voiced by Jim Henson, finally gets ready to start the Muppet Movie. If you thought that the whole crew was important enough to mention at the screening, why didn't you invite them? I'm calling Muppet nepotism!
Uncle Kermit, is this about how the Muppets really got started?
Oh, Robin. You clearly don't know what based on a true story means in Hollywood, do you? The real Muppet Movie starts with an establishing shot from a helicopter over a swamp paired with the most 70s-looking opening title cards I've ever seen. You know, it's a shame this movie wasn't filmed in smell-o-vision. You can almost smell the hippie coming off of these title cards. The film's establishing shot is then accompanied by probably one of the best opening songs to a musical film, Rainbow Connection.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side?
Apart from being a beautifully simplistic banjo ballad, Rainbow Connection is also incredibly philosophical, posing questions about who came up with wishes and why people go so far to make them come true. It's wonderfully endearing and incredibly perfect for the movie. Kermit's musical musings are interrupted by a Hollywood agent in a fishing boat. What, you saying you've never seen one of those before? Named Bernie, played by Dom DeLuise, who tells Kermit he's got star potential.
No way. You help me. I have lost my sense of direction. Have you tried Harry Krishna?
Harry Krishna? Who the heck is that?
There's an ad in here that you should be very interested in. Feast your eyes on that.
Worldwide Studios announces open auditions for frogs wishing to become rich and famous.
That's an oddly specific wanted ad. What do they have, another one on the back looking for stand-up comedian bears and fashion diva pigs too? That's a weirdly specific wanted ad is all I'm saying.
The alligator.
Wow, the budget for Crawl must have been smaller than the trailers let on.
Millions of people happy.
After mulling over Bernie's offer, Kermit decides he's ready for Hollywood and leaves on his bike. You know, today I think we take for granted the sort of effort that filmmakers had to go through for even the tiniest of things. Today, anybody could make a frog Muppet look like it's riding a bike with a little editing, but in 1979, that 20-second shot took effort. I used to wonder why Kermit reacted this way when he saw the frog leg sign. Then I thought about it, and it would kind of be like coming up to a restaurant with a sign that read this. Kermit makes his way to the El Sleazo Cafe. How welcoming. And inside comes across a stand-up comedian who looks oddly similar to a bear. This, of course, is Fozzie, voiced by Frank Oz. Hey, look, it's the audience's reaction to the Muppets ABC show.
This guy's lost.
Maybe you should try Hare Krishna.
Who the heck is Hare Krishna, and why is this a running joke? After helping Fozzie get away from the angry crowd,
Okay, everybody, drinks on the house.
See, no drinks up here? What you talking about? The bartender said there was drinks on the house.
I forgot how funny this movie was. Kermit extends an invitation to Hollywood to his new friend.
Ah, my car's right outside.
Gee, a Studebaker.
Okay, first off, how did a bear get a car? Second off, how did a bear get into a position where it can get a car? I have so many questions. While leaving the seedy diner, Kermit attracts the attention of Discount Colonel Sanders. This is Doc Hopper, played by Charles Durney, and his assistant Max, played by Austin Pendleton, who want to use Kermit as their spokesman for their chain of frog leg restaurants.
What's that?
Ah.
Hi, I'm Doc Hopper. Invite you to hop on down and get some Hopper's French fried frog legs.
Again, this would be like asking someone to star in commercials for a cannibal restaurant called An Arm and a Leg. Kermit declines, however, and he and Fozzie go on their way. And now we get to the one song that comes to a lot of people's minds when they think Muppet Movie, Moving Right Along.
Out here.
A frog and a bear seeing America.
Like Rainbow Connection, Moving Right Along is a beautifully simplistic song. However, unlike the philosophical nature of that song, Moving Right Along is more of a happy-go-lucky road trip song. The lyrics don't make the most sense, but the singing from Kermit and Fozzie and the relative joyful nature of the instrumentals give this song a charm factor like no other.
Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free.
I seriously think they should play the scene in psych wards to see if people are insane or not.
Test subject number 1, commence experiment.
Moving right along in search of good times and good news. With good friends you can't lose.
This could become a habit.
Positive response, you can leave. Test subject number 2, please. Commence experiment.
Opportunity knocks once, let's reach out and grab it. Together we'll nab it.
Will you hitchhike, bus, or yellow cabin?
Nab it.
Moving right along.
Negative response, take him to his cell.
No! No! They can't take me! Don't take me back there!
Hey, Fozzie, look up ahead.
What is that?
Maybe we should give him a ride.
I don't know. It's pretty big.
Oh, hey, look, they made it to the set of Follow That Bird.
The big town.
Yeah, storm is right. Should it be snowing?
No, I don't think so.
I guess Muppet lungs aren't affected by asbestos? Kermit and Fozzie eventually stop at a sign for Doc Hopper's restaurant featuring Kermit's face. This whole thing just feels icky to me. And Doc Hopper tries once again to get Kermit to work for him.
We're a small-time operation, but we're expanding.
You see this performance? This is the performance of a man who doesn't think the film will do well and decides to go all out.
That's a myth.
In my opinion, that's some of the best acting you can get out of a film.
What? Myth! Myth!
Yeah.
Oh great, it's a running gag.
Come on, Bear. Burn rubber.
Yes, sir. Frog?
Bear, Frog. You know they have names, right? After driving for a while, Kermit and Fozzie come across a small rundown church. Alright, I'm looking it up. Hare Krishna is an Indian mantra used in meditation, spawned a movement in the 1960s. Oh, okay, now I get it. Kermit and Fozzie decide to rest outside the church, but are awoken by the sweet sound of 70s rock and roll. The music is of course being provided by Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, comprising of Dr. Teeth, voiced by Jim Henson, Floyd Pepper, voiced by Jerry Nelson, Janice, voiced by Richard Hunt, Zoot, voiced by Dave Goelz, and Anna, voiced by Frank Oz. Oh, and who could forget Scooter, voiced by Richard Hunt. A road manager for a house. Why didn't I get that before? Kermit and Fozzie decide to bring Electric Mayhem up to speed on their story by literally giving them the script to read.
You see, it starts here on page 1.
The Muppet Movie, huh?
Fourth wall who? And by the time they finish, Kermit and Fozzie fall asleep. Electric Mayhem take this opportunity to partake in some good old-fashioned graffiti. Hey, it may be a crime, but they're singing a really good song over it, so it's given a pass. In all fairness, while people like to talk about Rainbow Connection, we're moving right along in regards to the Muppet Movie. Y'all are sleeping on my jam, can you picture that? It's the same sort of nonsense that the other two songs are made up of, this time put to the sound of groovy 70s rock. And it's the best song in the whole movie, in my opinion. It probably has the most nonsensical lyrics of all the Muppet songs, but the instrumentation is so groovy and the way it's sung is so charming that you don't care. You just dance along and try not to think about the horrible property damage the band is causing while doing so.
Doc Hopper will never recognize you now.
I don't know how to thank you guys.
Now, I don't know why to thank you guys.
Yeah, I'm with Kermit on this one. It looks like the guys who made the Beatles cover art puked all over it.
A frog and a bear attached to the Studebaker.
Gee, Doc, all I can see is a frog and a bear and a rainbow-colored Studebaker.
So much for a clever disguise.
What?
It's almost like that whole last scene was just made to pad the runtime.
They recognized you. What do you mean? There's 100 bears around.
Are there 100 bears that tell bad jokes?
There's a sign up ahead there. Pull in front of that.
What's the deal, Professor?
Holy mother of blundering billboards, Batman! While on the road again, Kermit and Fozzie come across a plumbing truck driven by the one and only Great Gonzo, voiced by Dave Goelz.
Yeah. Look at that funny little truck. Yeah. Cute, huh?
Oh, it's coming straight at us.
We're gonna hit!
We missed it.
Oh? You call that a miss?
Alright, that's the best cheap editing trick I've ever seen.
I have a dream too. But you'll think it's stupid.
Oh, tell us.
Well, I want to go to Bombay, India and become a movie star.
You don't go to Bombay to become a movie star. You go where we're going, Hollywood.
Sure, if you want to do it the easy way.
If Hollywood's the easy way, I want to know what Gonzo thinks the hard way is like. The gang comes across a car dealership and decide to talk to the owner of the dealer, played by Milton Berle, about trading the Studebaker and the band.
Hi. Hey, what is this pile of Jack? Get rid of this heap. Come out here.
Whoa.
How the heck did this guy come across a Sweetums to hire as a car jack? Also, of all the Muppets we could get an origin on, did we really need one for Sweetums? I mean, personally, I'd like to know where Swedish Chef is from.
Seriously, friends, Madman Mooney doesn't believe in all that dealing and wheeling. No, the price on the sticker is the price you pay. And never more, and never less.
Ooh, very poor choice of words. The Muppets take their new ride and decide to check out the local fair, where they stop to see a beauty pageant hosted by Jack Geller?
You're not going to believe who the winner is, folks. Oh, come now, Charlie. It's their movie. Oh, focus.
I'll bet all the Goldwyn Follies fans got a kick out of that joke in 1979. And yes, I did have to look up what Goldwyn Follies is. I'm 18, leave me alone. Of course, it's at this beauty pageant that the Muppets meet Miss Piggy, voiced by Frank Oz, leading to, honestly, one of the more forgettable songs from the movie.
Never before have two souls joined so freely and so fast. For me,
Don't get me wrong, Never Before and Never Again isn't a bad song by any means. It's just when compared to songs like Rainbow Connection and Can You Picture That, it's just kind of forgettable.
there's an angel's wish for men. Never before and never again have two souls joined so freely and so fast. For me, this is the first time and last.
I will give the movie props for making Miss Piggy's last note go flat. That's pretty funny. While at the fair, Gonzo and his chicken find a balloon vendor who oddly looks a lot like Steve Harvey's
Can I give you a
brother.
word of advice? What? Why not take both?
What in the world is a salesman of his caliber doing selling balloons to a chicken and a... whatever the heck Gonzo is? Did they ever establish what Gonzo is? Ah, never mind, take it back!
Gonzo? He went, Fozzie!
Alright. I'm gonna glaze over the fact that I just saw a man walk into the back of that shot with a Confederate flag and move on. And just move on. The group picks up an unwanted passenger in the form of Miss Piggy, but before they can tell her to buzz off, they discover Gonzo flying through the sky with a bunch of balloons.
Gonzo! What are you doing?
About 7 knots!
Why not just let it go? You're made of felt. You can't feel pain.
Fozzie? Yes. Bear left. What? Bear left. Right frog. What? Never mind. That's cute.
Puns!
Look at our new car down there. Oh, quiet. It's this one. Oh, quiet.
Doc, isn't that a frog up there? No, that's a frog down here.
So, we're just gonna cut out how Doc Hopper managed to catch up with the Muppets? Yeah? Cool. Okay. The Muppets attempt to outrun Hopper and... Jeez, who keeps making these billboards? Convenient advertisements? Ex Machina billboards?
I'm back. I don't understand any of this.
Yeah, you and me both, Piggy. How was Sweetums able to know where they were? Stop that! It's the Muppet Movie. Stop trying to overanalyze. The gang eventually stops for the night at a Starlight Diner where they come across the world's most sarcastic waiter.
Yes? May I help you? The wine, please?
Okay, first off, who waits tables in biker shorts? Second, these cameos are becoming a bit much. I'm almost expecting a sitcom-style applause every time they show up.
Makes me giggly.
People had a problem with the Muppets drinking on the ABC show. The date is cut short, however, when Miss Piggy gets a call from her agent. Kermit laments the way the date went by singing along with the blues-singing piano player Rolf, voiced by Jim Henson, who is also a dog.
Bro.
Not Jim Henson, I meant the Muppet.
Away from women. That's my motto. But I can't. Neither can I. That's my trouble. You can't live with them. You can't live without them. There's something irresistible-ish about them.
So, compared to other songs in the Muppet Movie, I hope that something better comes along, other than being the song with the longest title in the film, also sits in that spot between Never Before and Movin' Right Along for me, as it has the soulful charm that the rest of the Muppet songs have, but instrumentally, it's nothing special. It's a simple little blues ballad that doesn't overstay its welcome, but will probably be forgotten about after you hear it.
Something better comes along.
After the musical number, Kermit gets a phone call from none other than Doc Hopper, who has kidnapped Piggy, threatening her life if he doesn't talk to Hopper.
Are you the guys I'm supposed to meet?
So this is what you came for, right? To see your favorite Muppet get held at multiple gunpoint? Hopper has Kermit and Piggy tied up and introduces them to the leading scientist in frog mind control, played by Mel Brooks.
It's good to see you, Doc, you little rustic devil, you. Where's my victim? I'm impatient.
Again, I get that the Muppet Show was built on celebrity cameos, but were the screenwriters afraid that the Muppet Movie wasn't going to hold up on its own?
Cerebrectomy, electronic cerebrectomy.
You see this performance? This is the performance of a man who doesn't think the film will do well and— Oh, wait, we did that joke already. Yeah, never mind. After a hearty dose of frog-threatening, German stereotyping, and pig-slapping, Kermit and Piggy escape the clutches of Hopper and his men.
Well, shall we go now, Kermit?
Well, just a second. Hello?
Who put a phone in a barn?
Yeah, money, what do you got? Commercial. How much? Mm-hmm. When? Take it. Goodbye.
Well, that was an abrupt exit.
Goodbye.
Wait a minute, what happened to the movie? Now see, this is what happens when you put a chef who explodes food more than he cooks it in charge of the projector. Still, he did do a better job than the Gremlins.
Yeah, just be cool and need another seat cushion.
Well, it's pretty much the same flavor you get out of theater popcorn. Swedish Chef gets the film ready and—
All beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains majesty, how about our rooted plains? America, America, God shed His rays, our deep and proud with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Patriotism swells in the heart of the American bear.
Alright, don't pretend like you've heard a better version of that song, because you haven't. On the road again, Kermit and the gang come across a stranded Miss Piggy on the side of the road.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you think we should help them with their bags?
No.
You were gonna make her come back in the next scene. Why make her leave in the first place? In fact, we know that Piggy ends up with the gang, given that this is a Muppet's origin story! It's It's a weird decision is all I'm saying.
Frankly, Miss Piggy, I don't give a hoot.
I'll bet all the Gone with the Wind fans got a kick out of that one in 1979. I didn't actually have to Google that one. After driving for a while, the Muppet Gang's car suffers a breakdown, stranding the gang on the side of the road deep into the night. Realizing they're not going to make it to the Hollywood audition the next day, Gonzo and Rolf decide to keep their minds off of it by singing a song. So, when compared to the rest of the soundtrack, I'm going to go back there someday, which somehow has a name that's just as long as I hope that something better comes along, is far too similar to Rainbow Connection for my tastes. It's perfectly adequate for what it is, but it's pretty much a time filler. A beautiful time filler, but a time filler nonetheless. Kermit leaves the group for a while to have an inner monologue with himself. Hey, look, they let Spielberg direct the scene, how nice. Returning to find that Electric Mayhem have somehow been able to catch up with them. How, you may ask?
Oh, easy. We just read the screenplay you left us. Exterior Desert Night. We knew right where you were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we already established that the fourth wall doesn't exist in the Muppet universe. The Muppets decide to hitch a ride on Electric Mayhem's bus to get to Hollywood, but get stopped by Max, who warns them that Hopper is following the gang to kill Kermit.
Let him explain.
This whole disguise is only so I could warn you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I thought the doc was going to hurt Kermit. I only thought he was going to lean on him a little. But now he's got this frog killer in from the coast.
Kermit decides he's not going to back down from a fight and decides to meet Hopper and his men at the next town. While in town, they discover a laboratory run by Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker, played by Dave Goelz and Richard Hunt respectively, who are working on Insta-growth pills.
What in the name of Fats Waller is that? A 4-foot prune. 4-foot prune.
Don't make a blue pill joke. Don't make a blue pill joke. Don't make a blue pill joke. Hopper's gang catches up with the Muppets and Kermit gets ready for a standoff when... Let's be honest, a giant-sized animal was the only way this was going to end. Fun fact about this scene, Jim Henson was adamant that they only used traditional filming techniques to film the Muppet Movie, forcing the set designers to construct a giant animal head for this scene. Man, remember when filmmakers could just do something instead of relying on computers? After their last encounter with Hopper, the Muppets finally make their way to Hollywood for their audition. The Muppets then use the receptionist's allergies to force her to make them meet the studio head. That's kinda dark. And they finally get their shot with the head of Worldwide Studios, played by Orson Welles.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate reaction to seeing the Muppets for the first time.
We're all with you. Please, sir. My name is Kermit the Frog, and we read your ad, and, well, we've come to be rich and famous.
Miss Tracy, prepare the standard rich and famous contract for Kermit the Frog and Company.
Well, that was the easiest Hollywood audition in the history of ever. The Muppets immediately get to work on their first movie, and... Wait, was the contract specifically for a frog to make a movie about his life? Did they really give up complete control of a movie they were auditioning for to a bunch of no-names? Did they even have a movie made for them before they showed up? This is probably why Worldwide Studios went out of business. In all fairness, the finale song, The Magic Store, is a very fun finale to end with. It's bright, bubbly, and one of the more fun songs on the soundtrack. I just love this one.
You're building up steam. What was once juvenile is shit grown up and stylish. You're close to your dream.
Speaking of endings, the film ends with Gonzo putting a hole in the roof, conveniently causing a rainbow to form in the studio.
Life's like a movie, write your own ending, keep believing.
Looks like all it took was a cross-country road trip / near-death experience to help Kermit and the Muppets find the rainbow connection they were all looking for. So that was the Muppet Movie, and yeah, it still holds up. The Muppet Movie is just incredibly charming. It's got a fun story for the whole family, jokes nobody could help but crack a smile at, and a message that can warm the hearts of every child and child at heart. Besides how endearing the film was, I was surprised at just how well made it was. You can feel the effort put into this film. Everything from the Muppets driving to riding bikes to enlargement took tons of effort. Everything that was done in the Muppet Movie hadn't been done before, mostly because a Muppet Movie had never been done before. What else can I say? It's sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Muppetational. It's the Muppet Movie. There's nothing else like it, and there'll be nothing like it for years to come. I'm the Masonator, and thank you for watching this inaugural episode of Teenage Movie Reviews. Good night, everybody.